Sean, I'm at my limit. I can't take this anymore. I've been taking care of your mom all this time by myself. You need to help out too.
Are you kidding? You want me to help you? Why should I? That's the sort of thing a wife does, and last time I checked, I'm the man of the house.
And I'm fine with taking on the brunt of the responsibilities, but I can't do it on my own. Your mom has dementia, and it keeps getting worse and worse. It's been 2 years since she got so bad that she couldn't live by herself anymore, Sean. Don't you think it's about time you considered placing her in an assisted living facility? This isn't just about me, remember? I'm concerned about getting your mother the amount of care that she requires.
How could you even think about suggesting that? You want me to just toss my own mother in a nursing home to rot? I could never do that to her.
First, that is totally not what I said, so please don't put words in my mouth. Second, if you're reluctant to send her to assisted living facility, I understand. How about hiring an elderly care professional to come to the house? It doesn't have to be every day. Even just someone over to help 3 days a week would be fantastic.
Hiring someone costs money, Linda. You, however, work for free.
I'm well aware that it costs money, Sean. You don't need to remind me. But it's not like we're doing that poorly financially. And I also know that your mother has a very sizable amount of savings. Couldn't you use some of that? Seeing as it is for her care, I don't think she'd have any problem with that.
Wait, why do you know about that?
You keep a pretty tight grip on her bank book, but I managed to catch a glimpse from over your shoulder when you were opening it up the other day. So I know that she has more than enough to be able to spend some of it on her care and still have plenty left over.
Oh, so you were spying on me? Well, regardless, you're not using that money. All of that money is gonna be mine someday. It's my inheritance. Every cent of that money that I use on my mom is one less cent that I'll have to use for myself. So no, there's no way I'll ever let you use that money.
Okay. Then at the very least, you need to step up and help me out. If you don't want to spend any money on her, then how about you give me a hand with her every now and then?
I can't help take care of my mom. I'm a man, Linda. I could never do anything like give her a bath or change her diapers. It makes me sick just thinking about it. So don't even bother to ask. Stop crying and keep doing everything like you've always done.
Alright, well, if you don't want to do all the dirty work, what about just cooking her meals or something? Or, I don't know, just coming by to talk to her would be enough. I'm trying to tell you that I don't want you to put everything on my shoulders anymore.
And I'm telling you that I'm not gonna do it. I don't have that kind of free time. You expect me to give my all at work and help you out at home? How selfish can you be?
There you go again. Every time I ask you for help, you always use your job as an excuse. Is your work so important that you can't spare even a few minutes a day to help your mother?
Look, you just need to put on your big girl pants, grit your teeth, and just keep doing everything like you have been. It's not like my mom has all that much longer left anyway. Both of our lives will get way easier once I get my hands on my mom's inheritance, so just put up with it for a little while longer, okay?
This isn't about money, Sean. Please. All I want is to have some free time for myself. Do you have any idea what it's like to be constantly interacting with someone suffering from dementia? I'd like to see you try it sometime. It's lonely, frustrating, saddening, and I'm just plain at my wit's end.
Oh, please, don't try to play the victim with me. You're not the only one having a hard time. I've had to put up with so much crap from you ever since you started looking after my mom. I keep waiting and waiting for you to finally be able to balance the housework and taking care of my mom, but you're still completely incompetent. And let me tell you another thing. Just what is this crap you've been cooking lately? It's like you're making nothing but frozen dinners.
I'm on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Whenever your mom needs anything, I have to run over to go help her. You can't honestly expect me to be able to keep an immaculate household under that kind of workload.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. Is that all you've got? If you've got this much time on your hands to complain about how much work you have to do, why not spend a little time learning to do it better? I'm the one earning the income that allows you to be a housewife, and don't you forget that. You've got a job to do, and I expect you to do it.
Linda, what is going on with you? You didn't come out to see me yesterday. I haven't seen you in ages. I was really looking forward to having some time to catch up. What? I showed up to the restaurant 15 minutes early, but you never came. Then, right when I figured you had stood me up and I was about to leave, your husband comes waltzing into the room. If you're going to cancel on me at the last minute, at least have some decency to tell me personally. The last person I want to hear it from was your husband. Chelsea? What are you talking about? I don't believe this. You didn't cancel on me. You just completely forgot? Forgot about what? It was the worst night of my life. He started out by apologizing that you weren't gonna make it, so I started to walk back to my car. But then he tells me that he wants to treat me to dinner to apologize. So we sit down at the table and he immediately starts complaining about his work, his colleagues, his health, you. He just whines the whole time. I'm not a freaking therapist. Hold on, Chelsea. I'm sorry, I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. We were supposed to meet up yesterday? I don't remember us talking about that. And Sean took you out to dinner? Huh? Yeah, we were supposed to meet up. Didn't Sean tell you? He was the one that asked me to go out with you in the first place. He said that you were so tired from taking care of his mother that he wanted me to spend some time with you. So he gave me a time in a restaurant and told me you would meet me there. This was all Sean's plan? No, Chelsea, he never said anything about that to me. He didn't? But that doesn't make any sense. Then again, nothing that happened last night made any sense. There I was, thinking I would get to have some girl-to-girl time with my best friend, but you canceled at the last second. And then I ended up having to spend the whole evening with your husband. I'm so sorry about all of that, Chelsea. I'm going to go ask him what happened right now. I'll text you back once I know more. Sean, I just got a text from Chelsea. Would you mind explaining to me just what you were doing? You used me to lure my best friend out to dinner? What in the world is going on?
Oh, sweet little Chelsea told you about last night, huh? Tell me, did she say anything about me to you? Like how I was a perfect gentleman and treated her to a wonderful evening?
Don't dodge the issue, Sean. Answer my question. You used me as bait to get my best friend to come out and meet you, didn't you? And you did all of this without saying anything to me. What do you think you're doing, Sean?
What's the big deal? All I wanted was to have a good meal for a change.
What?
I'm sick and tired of your sloppy cooking, Linda. I want real food, but I couldn't go out to eat by myself. That would just be embarrassing. That's when I got this great idea. I don't have to eat alone. I'll just call one of your friends to give me some company.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm out of patience from dealing with you. You made me have to eat out to get a decent meal. Someone has to take responsibility for that, and if it isn't you, it may as well be someone close to you.
You are out of your mind. Tricking my best friend into having dinner with you so you could complain to her about everything, including me? You're a real jerk, Sean.
Whoa, 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 who are you calling a jerk, Linda? I'd say that I'm one of the least jerky husbands out there.
What? You're gonna have to explain that one.
You've been on my back for months saying you want some time to yourself, right? Now I would have loved to let you go and have a drink with your friend, but you have to take care of my mom. So out of the kindness of my heart, I went out drinking with your friend for you. I heard about all the stupid crap she's been doing lately. I'll tell you all about it later while you're making my dinner. So you can get the full experience of drinking with your friends while at the same time doing your housework.
Are you being serious right now? Is this some kind of a prank?
Man, though, that Chelsea is a knockout. She's always been pretty hot, but I think she looks better now in comparison to how much you've let yourself go. A delicious meal with a beautiful woman. It was heavenly. You should have her give you some fashion and makeup tips. With her help, you might look a little less frumpy.
You want me to clean the house, cook our meals, and take care of your mom, all while looking like some Instagram model? If that's what you want, then help me out sometime, Sean.
How many times do I have to tell you, Linda? I ain't doing anything to help you with my mom, so stop asking.
Fine. I don't want or expect anything from you anymore. I don't care what you do from now on, but leave Chelsea out of it. Never ask her out to dinner again.
Uh-oh, is that jealousy I detect? Are you bitter that Chelsea and I grew closer to one another over a nice meal? Then you had better become a better housewife, Linda. None of this would have happened if you could cook semi-decently. Thanks for taking care of all the funeral arrangements, Linda. Oh, and thanks so much for taking care of my mom for me all these years. It must have been super hard on you taking all of that stuff on by yourself.
Why, yes, Sean. Yes, it was. It was quite difficult for me. I was 100% responsible for caring for my elderly mother-in-law, who was suffering from severe dementia without cease for 5 years. It's strange, though, that you would wait until right now to express any words of gratitude towards me.
Meh, I figured you earned a compliment. Thanks to you, I had a really easy time of things, and now I can start living my brand new life without any regrets.
Huh? Your new life? What are you talking about?
Now that the funeral's over, there's something I've been waiting a very long time to tell ya. We're getting divorced. I left a stack of divorce papers in the kitchen. Go and sign them as soon as you get a chance.
You want to divorce me?
Yeah, and I've been waiting for this moment for ages. I've already signed all the places I need to. Once you're finished, I'm going straight over to the courthouse to submit them. And do hurry up, won't you? I want to get married to my sweet little Chelsea as soon as possible.
Chelsea? Sean, hold on just 1 second. That was a joke, right? Not the part about the divorce, the part about Chelsea. You're not getting married to her, are you?
Joking? Why would I be joking about the happiest moment in my life? I hate to say this, Linda, but who am I kidding? I love being able to finally tell you this. Sweet little Chelsea is madly, deeply, truly in love with me. What kind of man would pass up an opportunity to be with a babe like her?
What?
Remember when I took her out to dinner a few years ago? I know you were totally oblivious to this, but the truth is that we've been meeting up in secret ever since then. And it wasn't just me asking her out either. It feels like most of the time she was the one asking me out. And not once did she ever ask me to bring you along. In fact, she never even mentioned you at all. You don't mean anything to her, Linda. All she wants is me. You see, it's obvious that she's in love with me. I'm not dense enough to miss all those obvious signs.
Well, Sean, I'm glad that you've been enjoying your life these past several years. While you were out getting all lovey-dovey with my best friend, I was stuck at home caring for your dying mother. And now, on the evening of her funeral, you go and drop all of this on me at once?
Sorry, babe, but I just can't hold back anymore. I'm freaking losing my mind over here. I mean, think about it. I've got one of the baddest hotties in the city in the palm of my hand. She could have any guy she wants, but she chose me. I'll bet that right now my mom is looking down at me, feeling so proud of her son for landing a catch like my sweet little Chelsea.
Uh-huh. So, you're serious about divorcing me, aren't you?
Dead serious, and I want to get it over with as quickly as we can. Within the week, if possible. Now that my mom's dead, I don't have any reason to keep you around. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. You'll get a fair amount of alimony from me. So don't be a whiny brat about this, okay? Just be a good little girl and sign those divorce papers. Oh, and make sure you get a good gift for our wedding. Chelsea's your best friend, after all. I would appreciate it if you'd wear a mask, though. Not because I'm afraid of getting sick, I just don't want your ugly mug ruining my wedding.
That's a mighty nice plan you've built up for yourself there. Would you like to know Chelsea's opinion on the whole thing?
Huh?
She's sitting right next to me, and she's laughing so hard I think she might just have an aneurysm. In her words, "That creepy old geezer thinks I'm in love with him? What a pathetic delusional loser."
Hey, she would never talk about me that way. She loves me. You're making all that up. She's not really sitting next to you. She's not really sitting next to you, is she?
She is, actually. She sent me a text immediately after the funeral was finished. She said she wanted to meet up and have a talk with me. So I went to a nearby cafe and, well, here we are.
What? Why would she be going out of her way to meet up with you? You're her rival in the battle for my heart. You're nothing but an obstacle to her.
I'll have you know, Linda is my best friend in the entire world. I will never see her as an obstacle, no matter what life has in store for us. And yes, I was the one who reached out to her and asked her to meet me here. After all, my best friend was finally free from having to take care of her dying mother-in-law. She can relax and enjoy life for the first time in 5 years. How could I not be with her in such a happy moment? I'm her best friend.
Wait, Chelsea, is that really you?
Oh, now it's just Chelsea, is it? What happened to my sweet little Chelsea? Ugh. Every time you called me that, you made me want to puke. Blah.
But huh?
If you must address me, you can call me ma'am. I swear to God, if you call me sweetheart or angel one more time, I'm going to tear you limb from limb, you creepy old geezer.
But but ma'am, why are you talking so, I don't know, so mean to me right now? You aren't usually like this. I mean, you really do love me, don't you? You always acted so much sweeter to me during our secret little rendezvous.
Rendezvous? That's a joke, right? Who would ever fall in love with a dirty old man like you?
Well, you did, ma'am. You fell in love with me, right? And you want to marry me so we can be together forever. That's why you kept meeting up with me for dinner all these years while keeping it a secret from my wife.
I'm sorry. Didn't Linda tell you what I said about you earlier? For the record, I used a lot worse words to describe you than creepy old geezer, but let's keep this conversation G-rated, shall we? So no, I don't love you. I actually thoroughly despise you to the very core of my being. You've been treating my best friend like a slave for all of these years. I had to scarf down 20 antacids every time I went to dinner with you because the stress of looking at your ugly face gave me heartburn.
How can you say that to me? Don't forget that you were the one who invited me out most of the time. Is this some weird hard-to-get act? I thought our relationship was beyond that point.
I'm not hard to get. I'm impossible to get for you. The only reason I ever went out to dinner with you was to help out Linda. This was the only way in the world that Linda could ever get some peace and quiet time all to herself. She gave up hope of you ever caring about her and stopped asking. So I started asking you out in order to force her to take some time for herself. All those smiles and giggles I gave you during those meals, they were all fake. I was acting.
No, that can't be true.
It was all worth it though, because thanks to my noble sacrifice, Linda was able to be totally free, if only for a little while. She called in an elderly care service to look after your mom for her, and while they were at the house, she was able to read a book, watch TV, enjoy a nice meal, and even just catch up on sleep. So yeah, don't be delusional. I didn't want to go out to dinner with you. I tolerated it. Every single one of our dates was just a cover for Linda to be able to relax.
I don't believe you! You mean you were deceiving me? You didn't actually have any feelings for me?
Trust me, Sean. I have guys lining up to talk to me at every club I go to, and even the least attractive one of them is 5 times the man you are. Linda is an absolute saint, though. She told me that I didn't have to do this for her, and tried to get me to stop. But after seeing how much stress she was under with a senile mother-in-law and an uncaring husband, I had to do anything I could for her.
This can't be!
A few times, she even tried to hand me some money afterward to pay me for my time. But, like, you were taking me to some of the most expensive restaurants in town. Getting awesome food for free was all the things I needed, so I turned her down every time. So, again, for the record, this whole scheme was 100% my idea. Linda had no part in it. You had better not try to take out your frustration over this on her. Got it?
But Chelsea, I was serious about you. I was going to divorce Linda so I could be with you. I already signed the divorce papers. It's over between us. I've sacrificed everything for you. Are you just gonna let that sacrifice be in vain?
You making some of the dumbest decisions possible isn't my fault. I will never marry you, ever. I would rather die. You made your bed, now lie in it. Divorce Linda and set her free once and for all. She's gonna come and live with me now. If I ever see you come within even 1 city block of Linda, I'm gonna track you down and slap some sense into you.
What's going on, Linda? What is this thing you sent me? What business do you have demanding any money from me?
I have every right to demand that money from you, actually. The amount you see on the bottom of that page is nothing more than my fair share of your assets. That, and a share of your mother's inheritance.
You idiot! Are you serious? You don't have any right to my mother's inheritance! So what if you were her babysitter for the last 5 years of her life? You're still nothing but her daughter-in-law. I, however, am her son! Her only son, and as such, I'm entitled to everything! Didn't you even do the bare minimum amount of research before you sent me this thing?
Allow me to turn that question right back at you, Sean. Didn't you do the bare minimum of research before texting me? If you did, you noticed that there were very important changes in the law several years ago.
Huh? What change?
It was made so that family members who spend a certain amount of time caring for their relatives are also entitled to a claim of certain percentages of their estate when they pass away. It doesn't matter if I'm not her blood relative. All that matters is that I was her caretaker. There's not a single thing on those documents that isn't clearly defined in the applicable inheritance law.
Really?
Yes, really. If you want to know more, you can go ahead and shoot sweet little Chelsea a text and ask her. After all, she's the lawyer who's representing me in our divorce proceedings. I bet she would do a much better job at explaining the relative sections of the law to you.
Wait, what? Chelsea's a lawyer?
You've been going out to dinner with her at least once a month for the past several years, and you never even asked her about what she did for a living?
Well, she was always so intently listening to what I had to say while we were out together. She's a really good listener, and she was always really engaged in our conversations.
Yep, she's a great lawyer. She knows just how to get a person to go blabbing about all the information she wants to get out of them. I would hate to be on the receiving end of her lawyering skills. Sucks to be you.
Damn it! Damn it, this sucks! I don't care if your haughty friend is a lawyer. I'm not giving you one single solitary cent of my inheritance. I'll have you know I just found my mother's will in her desk the other day. I know that when I open this, it's gonna say in big, bold letters that I get everything she owned.
Wow, you found your mom's will. What's it say?
Don't rush me, I'm getting there. Let's see. To whom it may concern, I, Cheryl Longworth, having received the loving care of my son and his wife in the waning years of my life, do hereby bequeath, are you ready, Linda? Here it comes, half of my estate to my daughter-in-law, Linda. What the? She left half of her estate to you? Why would she do a thing like that?
Well, thank you so much for reading that for me, Sean. I had no idea that your mother was planning to be so generous to me in death. I was only going to sue you for the minimum amount I'm entitled to for caring for your mom, but I think I'll withdraw that suit now.
No! That's okay, go ahead and sue me!
No, Sean, I think I'll take half of everything instead. After all, that's what your mother wanted. You wouldn't want to go against your mother's dying wishes, would you?
Screw her dying wishes, I want the money!
I'll have to let Chelsea know about the will as soon as possible. She'll need to do some more paperwork for me. I think I'll let her handle everything from here on out, actually.
Hey, we don't need to get lawyers involved in this, do we? Can't we settle this like adults?
Oh, you want to settle? That's fine with me. I'd like to avoid a lengthy trial if possible. Here are my terms. Screw you, pay me. Since Sean went to the trouble of finding his mom's will for me, the divorce proceedings didn't take long. I received half of his mom's estate, as she had it in her will, and also half of Sean's assets. My friend Chelsea is letting me live in the guest room of her awesome house for the time being. I think I'll stay here for a while. It's great being able to have some pleasant company for a change. As for my ex-husband Sean, having never cooked a single thing in the entire time we've been married, he was at a loss for how to feed himself with me gone. He ended up going out to eat for every meal, which both expanded his waistline and shrunk his pocketbook. He's burning through the remaining half of his assets at an incredible pace. From what I hear, he's already used up just about everything his mom left for him. I'm glad his mother never lived to see what a pathetic little wretch she'd become.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, David, why don't we check out some open houses this weekend?
Huh? Why would we go to those?
I was looking at listings in our area. There's a really nice one within our budget.
We don't need to look at houses.
I think it's time we bought our own house. We've saved up quite a bit.
What's bringing this up suddenly?
It's not sudden. We've been saving for 2 years now.
What? We don't need a house now. Living with my parents is fine.
Fine for who exactly?
For everyone. What's wrong with our current arrangement?
What are you talking about? We only moved in with your parents to save money for a down payment. What's the point of living with them if we're not going to buy a house? Have you given up on our original plan?
The point is, we're saving money every month.
That was never meant to be permanent.
But living with my parents means we don't have to pay rent. It really helps with expenses.
We already have enough saved for a decent down payment.
Why waste money on a mortgage when we have a perfectly good living situation?
Sorry, but I never planned to live with them forever. And to be honest, I'm at my breaking point.
What? Why?
Are you seriously asking me that?
Yes, I am. What's wrong with living here?
You live here too, so you must know. Your parents criticize me every day and make snide remarks about my job and the housework. I'm tired of it.
You're being too sensitive.
Am I? Just yesterday, your mother complained about how I fold laundry.
Well, my parents can be a bit harsh with their words, but they're not wrong, are they?
Excuse me?
If you helped out more, they wouldn't have to say anything.
I work 50 hours a week to support this family, and you expect me to fold laundry perfectly?
See? You use work as an excuse to dump all the housework and childcare on them. Of course my parents are going to complain when they see their son being taken advantage of by his wife.
Taken advantage of? Are you serious?
You're barely home. They're raising Emma more than you are.
Well then, David, why don't you earn enough to support everyone? I'm not working this much because I want to.
What did you say?
You heard me. I'd love to be home more, and I'd love to help out more around the house if I could. I want to spend more time with our daughter, Emma, too. But who's going to pay the bills if I don't work? If you're going to complain, why don't you get a full-time job?
What's with that attitude? Are you looking down on me because I'm part-time?
That's not what I said.
You clearly think you're better than me because you make more money.
I'm not looking down on you, but if you're going to criticize me, you should try harder. I'm the main breadwinner, yet I'm expected to handle housework and childcare too. It's exhausting. And all these snide remarks from your parents, they're just upset that their daughter-in-law makes more than their son, aren't they?
Don't bring my parents into this.
They're already involved. They make that clear every day.
My parents aren't that narrow-minded. No matter how much you earn, you're still just a wife. Don't forget that a wife's primary duty is housework and childcare.
Then what's a husband's primary duty? Isn't it providing for the family?
Shut up. Gender roles don't matter these days.
You just contradicted yourself completely.
What do you mean?
But you just said I have duties because I'm the wife.
That's different.
How is it different?
Look, I'm happy living with my parents. It's better for Emma too, living in a lively house with everyone. So we don't need to go looking at houses.
You're not even considering my feelings about this. Having our own home has always been my dream. You agreed that we should save money to buy our own house 2 years ago, before we moved in with your parents. What's changed?
Hey, I know. You want to build something so badly. Let's renovate my parents' house.
What?
Wouldn't that be perfect? We can make it nicer for everyone. The plumbing's getting old and Mom and Dad have been wanting to update things. Let's use our down payment savings to fix up the house.
Are you kidding me? I absolutely refuse. That's not what I've been saving money for.
Come on, be reasonable.
I am being reasonable. That money is for our house.
What's the big deal? Why are you so against it?
Because it's not our house, it's your parents' house.
But we live here too.
Let me make this clear. If you go ahead with renovation plans behind my back, I won't forgive you. I'll take Emma and leave. Hey, Sarah, I need to talk to you about something. What is it? Why won't you help pay for the renovations? You've been taking advantage of my parents all this time. The least you could do is show some gratitude. What? Don't play dumb. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Actually, I don't. I heard everything from my brother. He said you're opposing the renovation plans for the house, and you even threatened divorce. That is so low. He told you about that conversation? Of course he did. We're family. Well, obviously he hasn't told you the whole truth. He's painted an unfair picture of me as the bad guy, but I'm the one that's been having a hard time here. Unfair? My brother came to me crying. He said his wife refused to help with the renovation costs. He had to swallow his pride and beg me to lend him some money. David came to you crying? He was devastated by your behavior. What? So David was trying to go ahead with the renovations anyway, even after I explicitly told him not to? Don't raise your voice at me. I'm typing, Jenny. Don't get smart with me. You're being completely unreasonable. Why are you so against renovating? You've been nothing but a burden on my parents since you moved in. You dump all the housework and childcare on them and just laze around the house. You have no right to veto the renovation plans. What David does with his savings is none of your business. Who's lazing around? Everyone can see it. See what exactly? I've heard all about what a terrible wife you are. You take advantage of living here and don't do any of the hard work. And when my parents try to correct you, you talk back to them and order them to do the housework themselves. I hear Emma's picking up your awful attitude too. She completely disrespects my parents. Seriously? David said all that? Every word? About his own daughter too? Unbelievable. My brother was crying, feeling so guilty about how you treat our parents. He just wants to repay them by making their house nicer, but you said there's no point spending money on old people because they'll be dead soon. How dare you? They deserve to live in comfort for the rest of their lives. I never said anything like that. You're calling my brother a liar now? I would never say something so disrespectful to your parents. Stop lying. You've been living here comfortably, so you should start contributing some money. Got it, you ungrateful wife? Do your job and support your husband. I work full-time to support this family. Oh, please, spare me the working woman act. It's not an act. I work 50 hours a week. That doesn't excuse you from family obligations. And what exactly are David's obligations? Don't try to change the subject. This is about you and the renovations. No, this is about David lying to you. You need to show more respect to this family. I need to talk to David about this. Don't you dare make my brother feel worse than he already does. I think there's been a misunderstanding. You shouldn't butt in until you know the whole truth. The only thing I understand is that you're being selfish and ungrateful. We'll see about that. What's going on, David? Why are you spreading lies to Jenny?
What lies?
And I know you're going ahead with the renovation plans.
Oh, wait, I can explain.
Please do, I'm listening.
Well, did Jenny tell you everything?
Yes, how you asked Jenny for renovation money and how you painted me as a terrible wife to do it.
You're making it sound worse than it is.
How should it sound? You told her I insulted your parents.
But I had no choice. I'm tired of being caught between you and my parents.
Caught between us?
You don't understand the pressure I'm under.
Then help me understand.
Actually, my parents have been asking about renovating for a while. They want us to stay instead of building a new house and turn this into a two-family home.
You never told me that.
Because I knew how you would react.
You mean honestly, like a normal person?
Of course I refused at first. I knew you'd never agree, but they wouldn't back down.
So you went behind my back instead?
They're my parents. What was I supposed to do?
Talk to me, your wife? But instead, when I immediately said no, you decided to rope Jenny in to force it through.
I needed support.
Support in lying about me?
Look, why don't we just give up on building our own house and make this a two-family home? I'll tell Jenny I lied about everything. And if my parents give you any more grief, I'll tell them off.
Now you'll tell them off after months of criticism and harassment?
I'm trying to fix this.
Protecting your wife from nasty comments and admitting your lies should be a given, not a bargaining chip. Listen, I absolutely won't pay for renovating your parents' house. If you're so set on a two-family home, build it yourself. But like I said, if you do that, I'll take Emma and leave.
You're being unreasonable.
I'm being unreasonable? You lied about me to your entire family.
What's your problem? After all this begging, you could at least try to do what your husband asked. You stingy, stubborn witch.
Excuse me?
You heard me. You never listen.
I listen plenty. I just don't agree with your lies.
Fine. That's how you want it. Then leave. Get a divorce. Do whatever you want.
Is that really what you want?
Maybe it is.
Oh, so now you're the one getting angry? Oh, fine. Let's both cool down. For now, all renovation and construction plans are off the table. We'll talk about this again when we're both calmer.
Whatever.
We need to discuss this properly.
There's nothing to discuss. You've made your position clear.
And you've made yours clear by lying to your family.
Just leave me alone for now.
Fine, but this isn't over.
It never is with you.
What's going on, Jenny? This morning, renovation contractors suddenly showed up at the house saying they were here to explain the construction timeline. I knew nothing about this, and they said you're the one who signed the contract. What's going on? Oh, you finally noticed? What do you mean, finally noticed? It's simple. You refused to help with the renovation, so I decided to rebuild it myself. What? Why are you so surprised? Someone had to step up. Step up and do what exactly? I've been wanting to move back home anyway, and my company said I could transfer to a position that allows remote work, so I decided to go ahead and rebuild the house. Without consulting anyone who lives here? I consulted with Mom and Dad. What? Oh, don't worry about the money. Unlike someone stingy, I'm generous with both my wallet and my heart. I work for a big company and make good money. Paying for house renovations is no problem for me. This isn't about money. Isn't it? That's all you seem to care about. So this means we'll all be living together, your parents, us, and you? Actually, no. No? No, it'll just be 2 generations living together because you're getting kicked out. What did you say? You heard me perfectly well. You're kicking me out of my home? My parents' home. You and Emma need to leave. Then it'll be just my brother, our parents, and my family living together peacefully without any strangers getting in our way. Why are you kicking my daughter and I out? Do you really need to ask? Yes, I do. Isn't it obvious? We don't want to live with such a disrespectful daughter-in-law, and definitely not with a sassy little brat who's learning to look down on her grandparents like you do. I can't believe this is happening. Believe it, the house renovations won't have rooms for you and your kid. There's no place for a lazy wife like you anymore. That's fine, but are you sure about this? What do you mean? Are you really sure you want to do this? Worry about yourself. I've never heard of an in-law getting kicked out of the house they're living in. My brother's pretty angry about how stubborn you've been, and if you get divorced, life will be tough as a single mom. But don't come crying to us. You asked for this by behaving the way you did. Is that supposed to scare me? It should. Divorce is totally fine. Actually, it would be a relief. What? You heard me. Well then, I'll pack my things and leave with Emma. I'll leave the divorce papers here too. Have David sign them and file them as soon as possible, will you? Having a practically jobless husband and critical in-laws is just dead weight. I'm better off without them. You can't be serious. I'm absolutely serious. What? I know you work hard at your New York-based company, and if you have a stable income at a big company, that's reassuring. You can be the new breadwinner for your parents instead of me. Instead of you? What are you talking about? The breadwinner of our family is David, obviously. You're just the wife. Normally the man should be the breadwinner. Is that what he told you? What do you mean? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Having a husband that actually supports his wife. But David currently works part-time and makes about $15,000 a year. It's pretty difficult for him to be the breadwinner, so I've been supporting the family with my income. Part-time work? What do you mean? This is the first I'm hearing about this. Of course it is. He probably couldn't tell his sister that he was demoted to part-time because he was so incompetent. What? Should I continue? Yeah, go ahead. David's income was never that high to begin with, but I didn't mind. I figured I could just earn more myself. Even after we had a child, I tried my best at work, but David seemed to hate that I made more than him. He kept saying things like, "It's your fault I can't focus on work," and slacked off, which just made promotions and raises even more impossible for him. Really? Want to hear more? Keep going. Finally, he ended up on the layoff list during the recent downturn, but the company took pity on him and said, "We can keep you on as part-time since you have a family to provide for." That's how he became part-time, and that's when we started living with your parents. Oh my God, you're kidding, right? I wish. It was going to be tough to buy a house on just my income, so I wanted to save up more for a down payment. That's why we moved in with your parents. Looking back, it was probably a mistake. I never thought living here would be this exhausting. I can't believe my brother is just working part-time as a grown man. Don't say that. David is actually quite sensitive and gets hurt easily. Oh, and that's not all. There's one more important detail that you should know. What? Your parents have been spending all their pension and have almost no savings. This means that you'll have to become the breadwinner. What? But that shouldn't be a problem for you, right? Since you're working for a big company in the city. It's great that you can earn enough to cover renovation costs without a moment's hesitation. This is not great at all. Sure, I work for a big company, but I'm just a low-level employee at their subsidiary. I don't work at headquarters. What? You're not at headquarters? I never actually said that I worked at headquarters. True, but given how you always talk, anyone would assume. I mean, you're always talking about the big company you work at and how you've got a management position at the office. Shut up. So I exaggerated a bit. Everyone does that. It's not my fault. Wow, that angry response is so like David. It's interesting how siblings turn out so similar. I really did plan to pay for the renovations, but maybe not the whole amount. I was thinking of having David and our parents pay half. They won't be able to pay even half. What am I going to do? I went ahead and ordered some pretty luxurious specifications. By the way, would it be difficult to make the payments with just your income? Even though it's a subsidiary, having a parent company that's a major corporation and allowing remote work sounds like the benefits you get must be pretty decent. I could manage, but I'd have to put my entire salary towards the payments. Your entire salary? So that means living expenses would have to come from your parents' pension and David's part-time work. You'll need to be pretty strict with the budget. Hey, I'm just curious, but how much do you make? Since you said divorce wouldn't be a problem, you must earn quite a bit, right? I do all right. With recent raises, I'm making about $160,000 a year. What? I decided early on not to rely on David's income. It was tough, but living with your parents actually helped me focus on my career, so I'm grateful for that at least. Maybe you could help out a little? No way. After we get divorced, my ex-husband and his family will be strangers to me. I'm going to use every single penny I earn on my daughter and her future. Nothing else. So good luck with the payments. I'm sure having a nice house will motivate you to work harder, especially with all those luxurious specifications. Jenny and her family quickly tried to cancel the renovation contract, but some work had already been arranged and couldn't be canceled. They had to go through with those renovations, and the whole family was left with a huge loan. To make the payments, David finally found a full-time job somewhere else. Jenny started doing freelance work on the side in addition to her main job. Their parents even started working at the local supermarket. As for me and Emma, we're living peacefully and quietly on our own without any trouble from her father's family. Now I can finally focus on spending quality time with my daughter and enjoying my own hobbies.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Long time no see, Christy. This is your super cute little sister, Kimmy here.
Kimmy, how did you find out what my new phone number is? I never once told you about even changing my phone number, did I?
That's very true. You did say that you cut ties to me a while back, so that sort of hinted at what you do, right? And since you didn't ever tell me your new number after that, I was very, very lonely.
You were lonely? How? You remember why I cut ties to you, right?
Honestly, I have no idea, Chrissy.
I'm sure you've had all kinds of situations like this that it's made it hard for you to tell which reason goes with what.
Maybe you cut ties to me because I'm cuter than you? Maybe you cut ties to me because I'm sexier than you? Maybe because your ex fell in love with me and then left you to come sleep with me?
Because you stole my ex from me thinking that it would be funny.
I never thought it would be funny. I had no other choice back then, okay? He was the one that fell in love with me first, and from there, I could do nothing about him.
But you continued to go out with him behind my back, never once telling me, your older sister, what was happening. And the reason why he even started to cheat on me with you in the first place was this. You would constantly go running and crying up to him, complaining about all these lies you made up about the past, where apparently I was this evil older sister and would hurt you both mentally and physically. Basically making yourself out to be this cute little victim of abuse that my ex jumped to help.
Women who cry really are the hardest thing for men to avoid, right? Especially when it's me, a really cute little girl with an amazing body.
Had it only been because of your looks that my ex went and jumped over to you, then I wouldn't be as upset about the past. That would have proved to me that you didn't mean to take his gaze and that it just happened naturally. But things didn't happen naturally, as you would constantly belittle me and make me look like the monster so that he would leave me for you. And that is something I will not forgive.
Well, I could have taken him with just my looks alone, you know.
So, why are you talking to me again? Why did you go through all that trouble of finding my new number? And could you tell me who gave you my new number? Because I told everyone not to tell you.
I asked Mom for it.
Damn it.
Mom has always been on my side, ever since I was born.
I know that very well, Kimmy. So?
Well, Mom was kind enough to tell me. She also told me that you are going to get married as well. And just a little bit ago, your family and your fiancé's family met, right? That's where Mom learned that your fiancé is working for a massive company making lots of money.
Well, I'm not inviting you to my wedding because I do not regret cutting ties to you and will not be letting you back into my life.
I don't need you inviting me out to your wedding or anything. That's never going to happen anyway.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm going to marry your fiancé for you. In other words, you won't be getting married and you will not be able to have that wedding anymore.
Are you trying to get your teeth kicked in? You and I are not close enough to be telling jokes like that to one another, so you better take that crap back right now.
Oh, I know. And I also know that you are still upset with me over your last boyfriend that I stole from you in high school, right? Are you really so pathetic that you can't get over one simple instance of being cheated on? How long ago was high school?
Plenty of things had led to this hate besides just that.
Anyway, Mom went ahead and showed me pictures that she took when she went out to meet his family. I should have gone to that meeting as well. I can see you all went out to a really fine restaurant to talk.
I would never invite you out to that.
But I'm going to have to meet him and his family at some point, especially since I'm going to become his wife.
Are you really looking to have all your teeth knocked out? Honestly, I wasn't even wanting to invite Mom to that dinner either, considering she spills everything out to you, her pretty little baby. I ended up inviting her hoping that she'd just keep things between us, but she went ahead and showed and told you everything, didn't she? I should have left her out as well.
It would kind of be a bit screwed up of you to only invite Dad out to have dinner with your fiancé and his family, right?
I'm surprised that someone like you knows how to use the phrase screwed up correctly.
Excuse me?
Anyhow, I'm going to get married, and you will have nothing to do with it as long as I'm still breathing. I'm really busy now getting everything ready, so leave me alone and stop it with those freaking comments about my fiancé. He is just as busy as I am, so don't even try getting in his way right now. He does not need you coming in trying to corrupt his heart.
I would never corrupt him. All I planned on doing was showing him an outright better woman. And as you know, I have Mom on my side in all of this, so your best bet is to just shut up and let me have that man as well from you.
No, thank you.
If you don't hand him over now, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did in high school and have to forcibly steal him from you, okay?
This is why I'm telling you to stay the hell away.
But I really want to get married now. And I want to get married to a man like that, who can afford to take everyone out to a fine restaurant on the salary he's making at that massive company. Which means that I am going to have my way, no matter what you have to say about it. When I want something, I get it. That is all there is to it. Now that I'm wanting him, we need to get ready for our marriage. When we have a wedding planned out, I'll make sure to send you an invite.
Mom, you went and told Kimmy about how I'm getting married, as well as about the dinner we had and the man that my fiancé is, didn't you?
Why do you seem so upset by that, Christy? She is your little sister, so she has a right to know about all of it, right?
But you've known that ever since I graduated high school and left the house, that I have been staying away from her on purpose, right?
There is no reason for you to be cutting ties to your own little sister, though.
But you know the reason why I had to cut ties to her, and how that reason hurt me badly, right?
And that was back in high school, so you can get over it now. You were both young when it all happened. And it was just a boyfriend in high school that got stolen from you. Yet all you've done is cry and cry, whining about how she shouldn't have done that. The fact that you still hold that against her just goes to show how narrow-minded and cold of a woman you really are. That all happened when you were kids.
She also went around and made me look like a monster. Also, she would go into my room when I specifically told her to stay out of there. And do you know what she would do in there? She would take money from my purse to pay for her dates with my ex. She also took my favorite dress at the time that I bought with my birthday money and wore it out without my permission and got it all muddy and ruined it. There are plenty of other things that girl had done to me in the past that made my life worse, yet she never had to be punished for, right?
Well, you're her older sister, so it's your job to have to take care of your little sister, right?
And that's what you've always said. You never freaking bothered to step in and punish her for acting out like that, like a good mother would be doing, instead pushing all the blame on me.
Whatever happened that made you into such a small-minded brat? The fact that you guys have not been able to grow close has made me sad, all right? That little girl has the right to know about her older sister's marriage, and that's why I went and told her about it.
You know what? It's fine then. I don't care about the fact that you told her about my plans anymore, but you better not do anything else like that to me.
Tell me what that could be. What are you talking about?
Things that might cause trouble for my fiancé. Do not tell her any more about him and leave her out of this, please. He is not hers to have, so don't do anything that will make things complicated for everyone.
What's so wrong with that?
Excuse me?
Listen to what I think about this. I think that Kimmy is far more suited to become a wife than you.
What? What the hell was that?
I mean, she's far more cuter than you, right? And I want to see some stinking cute grandbabies as soon as possible. You are her older sister, so just give your fiancé to her so she can get married already.
What the actual frick are you saying? I would never ever do something as screwed up as that.
Your father and I are really getting up there in age, and that means we can't be around forever to take care of Kimmy's needs, right? I only say that because your father and I both know that she'll be around longer than the both of us. And once him and I are gone, and she finds herself in trouble, who's going to be there for her? You seem to really hate her, so you won't be there to help her when she asks, right?
Help her? Absolutely freaking not.
That's what I mean. And if that's the way you're going to think, then she needs a partner who can be there to help her. I would like to see her petite body in a cute wedding dress and some cute little grandbabies from her, which means I need you to give her your fiancé and let her get married.
That man is the man I'm marrying and nobody else.
Based on what happened to you in high school, there's no saying if you'll really be able to marry him or not.
Is that the kind of thing a mother should be saying to her daughter?
Your fiancé also happens to have a really good job right now with a very good salary. I think he would be far better off with a kid like Kimmy, especially since his face is decent.
I cannot believe what is happening. I always knew that you loved Kimmy more than me and would do anything for her, but this is how far you'll take things to try and ruin my life?
Well, I am her ally, and that means I will do anything to make sure she ends up happier than you, which means you need to start by handing over your fiancé to your little sister, all right?
You can go ahead and do whatever you want to make Kimmy happy, but leave me and my fiancé out of it. Do you hear me? And if you do anything to him, and I mean anything, I won't be forgiving you anymore either.
I have two amazing things to tell you about. You there? Can you hear me? You didn't end up blocking me, did you?
Stop freaking calling me. I'm busy right now, so we'll talk later.
I knew that rather than going to some beach in the US, it would be better to go to one of the beautiful beaches of the Caribbean.
What?
Actually, I'm pregnant now, which means I'll be having a baby here soon. Which means that before my belly gets too big, I was thinking of taking my honeymoon. So right now, I'm out in the Caribbean.
You're pregnant? And you're in the Caribbean?
There is a lot I have to tell you about, which I'm sure has you panicking right now, right? I'm sure you're freaking out. The last thing I really needed to tell you is that with the help of Mom, I was able to steal your fiancé.
What the hell did you say?
And then after just a few days, he was able to get me pregnant. I was shocked by that myself, but I guess he wasn't using any birth control. Now that I have his baby inside me, that pretty much seals the deal that he is my man now. Wow, I'm really, really sorry about this one. Just like last time, I'm once again stealing someone precious from you. But there was no other option, right? I'm the one who is the most cute after all.
Are you really pregnant right now?
Yes, I am. Mom has been waiting a long time to see a baby from me, and this time I'm taking my baby and your fiancé on this honeymoon.
My husband is sitting right next to me, though.
What? What did you say?
I just said that my husband is sitting right next to me in this room.
Hold on a second. What do you mean, husband? Don't you mean your fiancé?
We handed in our papers to the courthouse, so now we're married.
You handed those in? I heard from Mom, though, that you didn't have plans to have your wedding until next month.
And what about that meant we couldn't get married before the wedding? Plenty of people do that, you know.
This is all too strange, though. Because right now I'm with your fiance on this trip in the Caribbean.
Who is that exactly?
He's the man who was in that photo Mom showed me of you guys at that dinner months back. He was sat right next to you.
But at this moment, my husband is sitting right next to me.
Look at this.
His older brother?
His older brother?
That man is my husband's older brother. Wait, does that mean the baby inside you right now is my husband's brother?
This isn't your fiance's?
Wait, was the picture Mom showed you the one of me with my husband and his brother?
What do you mean?
That was a photo that my husband's brother wanted taken so that he could show his wife and kid that didn't come for the dinner.
His wife and kid? Wait, what the heck? What's going on here?
My brother-in-law is married and has a kid. His wife is also pregnant with her second child right now, and she will be having her second child a few days before our wedding. Kimmy, what have you been doing with that man who has a wife and 2 kids now?
No way. But I didn't know.
I'm not sure how you ended up meeting with my husband's brother like that and why you both were able to start dating. But right now, what you're doing is something no woman should ever do.
But Mom was the one who gave me his number and told me to get married to him.
She did?
I thought that this was going to be your fiance that I was talking with. Wait, what is going to happen to me now? He has a wife and 2 kids with her. That means before I can marry him, he's going to have to divorce her, right?
And before the divorce, make sure to pay that settlement to his wife.
Settlement?
The fact that he has 2 kids with her only furthers the amount you'll be paying. But what you did is one of the worst sins anyone can carry out.
You're joking, right?
This all happened because you wanted to steal my fiancé from me. And because of Mom's misunderstandings, they have now all become your misunderstandings. I never had any part in all of that though, so I'm not going to stick around to help you.
Hold on a second. This was not the plan I had in mind. Christy! Christy, please help Kimmy out right now. You're her older sister, right?
I'm going to ignore you guys because it was you who chose to have her take my fiancé away from me and are now being faced with a settlement from my husband's brother's wife. Remember that I was going to be the victim had she taken my husband from me and gotten away with it, all right? So you really think I'm going to help her out?
Why would this be happening? I thought that the number I gave to Kimmy was that of your husband's and nobody else.
Mom, you've always been terrible at writing things down, so perhaps you just misread his phone number. Or this might have to do with the fact that during the dinner where you guys met with my husband's family, you were talking with his brother the whole time and asking him for all his information instead of my husband. I always thought what you were doing at the time was a little bit strange, but you are one of the craziest freaks I know, so...
No way. That girl is being asked to pay a massive settlement right now and is going through hell for it. She also happens to be pregnant with my grandbaby.
And what would you like me to do about that?
Help her.
How about you help her since you're her mother?
I don't have any more of your dad's money that I can use on this.
You don't have any more of Dad's money? Wait, does this mean you've been hiding from Dad this whole time the fact that you've been using his money to help Kimmy?
Well, all she's done is work part-time jobs, and at her age, she needs more money to be able to live, right? Your dad has thought this whole time that she'd gone to college and found herself a full-time company job. That's why I tried to make a situation which made it look like she was always going to school.
I see. I was kind of wondering why someone like Dad would allow his younger daughter, who has always hated studying, to go to the cheapest community college in town and still flunk out without punishing her. Really, he was just being lied to by you and Kimmy and has no idea about the truth.
If your dad finds out that she flunked out of community college and has been part-timing this whole time, he's going to make her give all the money she spent back, I'm sure.
She actually flunked out then? I was just hoping that was a joke. When did that happen?
I think it happened when she was in her 2nd year there.
So then, what about the rest of the money Dad gave to her?
She told me she had to pay for other things, so I handed it to her to use on her place and for food.
I'm sure Dad is going to be pissed when he finds out that the money he thought was going towards her education has been going towards something else entirely.
Which means that I can't help Kimmy anymore with her problems because I cannot give her any more money.
And I don't have a penny that could be used to help her in any way.
Is that something the older sister of Kimmy would say? Are you telling me that what happens to her doesn't matter to you?
I think you should be more worried about yourself right now than what will happen with Kimmy, Mom.
What do you mean?
I'm with Dad right now as we're speaking.
What? Why?
I'm wanting him to give the speech at my wedding. And well, we just had him practice it a little bit ago. But when that finished, we decided to go out for lunch together. So we're eating now while we chat.
Hold on a second. You haven't told him anything about what happened with Kimmy and I, right? If you were to do something like that, you'd be spelling the end for both Kimmy and I.
You seem to be pretty content with the fact that both of you have been doing bad things together. So please explain yourself to Dad later. You are Kimmy's ally, right? Well, Dad just so happens to be mine.
You're lying, right? Hold on a second, Christy. Help me, Christy! Things are really screwed up now. What should I be doing right now?
Apologize to everyone you hurt from the bottom of your heart, and then pay off that settlement.
I have no way to pay this amount she's asked for. Also, I can't get in touch with him anymore. Did he throw me away? I am pregnant with his child right now and need him to stay by me.
I'm sure that since he's having to pay a hefty settlement and child support bill by himself, he will no longer have the money to pay for some bitch and her bastard child.
What? What are you saying, Christy?
That baby that you're carrying isn't even his baby, right? He never had any plans of having a serious relationship with you. So when you said that you were carrying his kid, I knew something was off. I mean, he was only going on that trip with you to the Caribbean for fun, not for anything more than that. But when he realized that you were pregnant with someone else's baby, he knew things were going to get crazy, and that's why he ran. He might be hoping that his wife will take him back at some point, and I don't blame him. From what my husband has told me, he's doing everything in his power to apologize to his wife right now.
How come you, of all people, know about the fact that this baby inside me isn't his baby?
Mom and Dad had to talk about it.
Mom and Dad did?
Right now, Mom and Dad are on the brink of getting a divorce. It seems that when Dad learned about how Mom had been giving you all that money, and it was not going towards school, and when he learned about how she was trying to get you to steal my fiancé, he snapped. But of course, getting divorced at a time like this is a real dagger to the heart for Mom, right? She's only ever been a housewife and has no money of her own. So after she realized that Dad was going to have his way with her in the divorce, she started to tell him everything about you.
What the hell? She told me that she was on my side. She told me that she would do everything for me.
From what Mom had told Dad, a while back you ended up getting pregnant with some guy you couldn't remember. And so you went to Mom asking for help. And the help that Mom offered you was that of coming and stealing my fiancé. Because she knew that you'd never be able to raise that kid on your own when you have it, right?
You know all about the plan now. It could have worked out for me too had you just given me your damn man like was planned.
That's not going to make me feel bad for you any. I like to think of all this was coming for you. Now, in order to not cause that baby to live a life of sadness, I suggest you change your heart right now and take full responsibility for everything you've done.
I will change my heart as long as you help me.
I told you, right? This all happened because of you, so take responsibility for it. I have no reason to be taking responsibility for something I had no part in.
I am being told by Dad now to give him all that money back since I dropped out of school. My whole life is going to end because of this. I was just thinking that I'd be getting married to a good-looking man with an excellent job and everything too.
I knew that a lot had happened, and that's why I wasn't going to block you just yet. But there's really no reason for me to continue talking with you. I'll just have Dad come to my wedding on the day of. I'm blocking you now, all right?
No, you're not. Who else am I supposed to go to for help if you block me?
How about your longtime ally mom?
I can't rely on her anymore.
She's been the one spoiling you this whole time though, right? I mean, I'm going to block you now, so you're going to have to rely on her. Now, I'll leave you with this one last thing before I go.
One last thing? Are you really going to block me? Hey, Christy?
That baby inside you only has you, so please start acting like an adult and don't do anything else that will bring great shame and suffering to its life. If you want things to change for the better, this is your only chance to make that happen. And right then and there, I blocked Kimmy's number and then deleted her contact info from my phone. After that, Kimmy was asked to pay off that settlement, as well as give back all the money she had used for my dad through our mom, and had to begin working full-time. As for my mom, she is now having to live in a separate house from my dad, as they move towards a divorce that cannot be avoided now. Since my mom is on her own now, she has chosen to go and live with Kimmy at her place, where they both work most of the day and will never see one another until nighttime. Those two never really had any experience working full-time before this, and so each and every day they are complaining that they have to work too hard and that they need a break. I'm sure that over time they will become used to living a life most adults have to live, or else they will end up bums on the side of the road.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.